Hi guys. So with this video, I'm here to talk about something that most people experience at least once in their life, if not all the time. It's the number one, they consider it a mental illness um, in the world. We're going to talk about anxiety. So I always had like a little bit of an anxiety, nothing crazy. I knew what my triggers were. But I never experienced like really, really severe anxiety until recently. I recently went through a very, very traumatic experience, both physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. And it triggered the most, first of all, it triggered panic attacks. And I had never had a panic attack before. I think I had one panic attack when I was young, when I was like 16 that I could remember. But other than that, I had never had a panic attack. I never realized how severe they were until I had one. But even after my traumatic experience was over, obviously the anxiety continued. And it freaked me out so bad because I literally thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was going to die. My hands got shaky and sweaty. I felt nauseous. I had a stomach ache. Like my face got tingly, or first of all, my left arm got tingly, which made me think I was having a heart attack, and it freaked me out. But then it switched to my right arm, and then my hands, my legs. And I never experienced that kind of anxiety before, and it made me start researching it. And it's really scary, and it really made me appreciate, for lack of a better word, I want to say appreciate people who deal with this on a daily basis, because I never experienced it before. And it's no joke. Like, it's no joke when you have severe anxiety. I never realized how terrible it is before. So I started researching because I'm a researcher, and I wanted to just share some things with, people who have this that maybe they haven't tried yet. If anybody has anything to add, please do so in the comment section. I'm here to help people, listen to people, tell experiences, the whole nine. So anxiety. I have some notes, so if I look over, that's what I'm looking at. So, symptoms of anxiety: racing heart, feeling afraid, usually for no apparent reason, or feeling just afraid about everything, like an impending fear of doom about everything, trouble breathing, thoughts of everything going wrong, trouble talking, trembling voice, sweating, stomach ache, nausea, headache, feeling very jumpy. You could feel like a lump in your throat, wanting to be alone, or in like, for lack of a better word, in like a safe space, like just somewhere familiar to you. Your chest feels really tight. You start shaking, dizziness, lightheadedness, tingling, numbing, anywhere in your body. So like I said, I started researching. I never knew, and I don't know if anybody else knows, that anxiety has a huge link to vitamin deficiencies and mineral deficiencies in your body. So first I'm going to go over some stuff that worked for me. And then I'm going to go over some other things that I either haven't tried or didn't work for me. But just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean it wouldn't work for somebody else. So vitamins. Anemia and iron deficiency has a huge role in anxiety. So I'm not going to get into what I went through. I'm going to do that in a different video. But my hemoglobin levels dropped down to almost nothing. And that's when I started experiencing panic attacks and anxiety. And so I was recommended to take an iron supplement. So I started iron, but I wanted to do more than just iron because my body was just completely depleted of minerals and vitamins. So the best way for iron to absorb in your body, what helps it, is to also take B vitamins and vitamin C with it. It just helps absorb the iron into your body and oxidize your blood and, to go to where it needs to go. So if you're experiencing severe anxiety, I strongly suggest getting your iron levels checked, hemoglobin levels checked. And I mean, even if you don't want to get it checked, you could just try like a low dose iron supplement. Just a side note, iron, don't get scared. It could turn your stool either black or hunter green, like my shirt, hunter green. And it happened to me and I got freaked out because usually black stool is not good. So that gave me more anxiety at first until I looked up, side effects of taking an iron supplement, and it's completely normal with that. So I started taking iron. I actually took a heavy dose of iron just because my hemoglobin levels were at a border, like between a 6 and a 7. So I was really not doing well. So I started taking the iron. And then after a couple of days, I started taking vitamin C with it to help absorb after reading into it. And also B vitamins are huge, specifically vitamin B1, B6, and B12. Deficiencies in all of those also have a huge link to creating anxiety or making anxiety worse than it needs to be. So I started taking B complex vitamin at the same time as the vitamin C and iron and vitamin D. Vitamin D is good too. You want to take those all. And after a couple of days, I started, I was still having anxiety, but it was getting less and less and less and less severe. Like each anxiety attack or every time I felt anxiety, it would get less. So much where I would be able to control it and I wouldn't be freaking out because I knew what was going on. Also magnesium. Magnesium deficiency is hugely linked to anxiety as well. I don't take magnesium during the day because it makes me super tired. I usually take it like an hour before bed because it also helps relax you. So those are the main vitamins and mineral deficiencies linked to anxiety. So if you haven't tried it, I strongly suggest it. At least try it for, 2 weeks, give it a shot, see what happens. If it works for you, great. If not, you could always stop at any time. I mean, those vitamins are good for you regardless, so you really should be taking them anyway. I changed my diet. So before my trauma, I was just on a downward spiral of eating really crappy. I was eating pizza like every day. I mean, who doesn't love pizza? But I was eating fried food. I was eating ice cream. I was just eating garbage. And I'm normally like a very healthy person. Well, at least I used to be. I just, went through a lot and I was just eating like crap. So diet change is huge. I have cut out almost all gluten, and dairy. I completely cut out dairy, even though I love dairy. But I'm just trying to get my anxiety under control. So I wanted to cut those things out. And just a mix. I don't know what exactly helped me the best. I'm going to say probably the vitamins, but I'll never know for sure. But gluten dairy is not good for you anyway. So regardless, it's going to help you regardless. So I have a list of superfoods that are good for you. So organic chicken and turkey. I understand that not everybody can afford organic. I really can't, but I really want to get this under control. So for the time being, I'm just doing fully organic, natural, free-range chicken and turkey, grass-fed beef. Beef also has iron, so that's good too. Bananas are good. Just be careful with the bananas because of the sugar. Sometimes sugar triggers anxiety. More of processed sugar triggers it than natural sugar, but you just want to be aware. Grass-fed beef, like I said. Chamomile tea. Chamomile tea for me was hit or miss. I tried it a couple times. It helped ease my anxiety. Other times it didn't do anything, but it's worth a shot. Oysters, because they're a natural aphrodisiac and it releases the happy chemical in your brain. Peanut butter, dark leafy greens, which also have iron. Citrus just like makes you happy. Switching over to oils. So I like to use sweet orange oil. This has really helped for the anxiety a couple times. Somebody recommended to me to like put a couple drops on my chest. I tried that. That didn't really help, but smelling it does. It just smells great. Or sometimes I eat a couple oranges and it makes me feel better almost immediately. I stay away from orange juice just because of the sugars added to it. So either just the oil, just inhale, nothing internally, or, citrus oranges. Eggs. I personally can't eat eggs. I have an egg sensitivity. So I can't eat eggs straight, but if you can, those help. They're good with protein. Just make sure, like I said, the eggs are organic. Pasture raised if possible. Salmon, full fat Greek yogurt or kefir. I don't know. I don't eat that, so I really don't know how to pronounce it, but it's supposed to be really good for you. Nuts, specifically Brazil nuts. Now, Brazil nuts are also high in selenium. Selenium is linked to worse anxiety as well, and that's a proven fact. Selenium deficiencies can be really dangerous to your health. I'm not going to get into what every single thing is, but research selenium. Eat a couple Brazil nuts a day, if possible. Turmeric is good. Turmeric is good for just so many things. It's just good for, inflammation in general. So turmeric's always good for you. You can get it as a supplement or a tincture, or you could just, eat it. Avocados. Personally, I don't like avocados, even though I know they're so good for you. I've tried them. The only way I can eat an avocado is if I make like homemade guacamole, but I just can't. I can't. I don't know. I don't like avocados, and I feel so bad every time I say that. My son doesn't like them either. So those are some good superfoods for you. I'm kind of going to jump around a little bit because my notes are kind of all over the place. I don't know this for a fact. This next part is just what I've read. Apparently, excess vitamin A is linked to higher anxiety. Now, I don't take any vitamin A supplements. As far as I know, my diet isn't high in vitamin A, but you might want to do some research. If you suffer from severe anxiety, you might as well just research all the possibilities and try and see what works for you. If you are taking vitamin A supplements or your diet is high in vitamin A, maybe try to cut it out and see if that helps. A couple other things that are good for your diet is dark chocolate, but personally, this is just what I've read. I wouldn't recommend dark chocolate just because of the sugars. And I don't like artificial sugar. I don't like processed sugars. So I personally wouldn't recommend it. Coconut oil is just good for you in general. Seaweed, blueberries, and maca root. Also, passion flower is supposed to be really good for you. I haven't tried that yet, but I really want to. And I also want to try valerian root. Now, these are things that could calm you during an anxiety attack. It's passion flower and valerian root. Like I said, I haven't tried that yet. I really want to get valerian root tea and passion flower tea and try that. And maybe mix it with some chamomile. That might be a good idea. Let's see. Oh, also, so another thing that works for me is I haven't really heard of anybody doing this for anxiety, but for some reason, eucalyptus oil. This brand is kind of crappy. It's just like Whole Foods brand. I would honestly recommend getting either Plant Therapy or Young Living. This I just got on a whim just because I was desperate. But this opens up your airways. It's like when you're sick, you're recommended to either like take a bath with magnesium sea salts with eucalyptus oil because it just helps you breathe easier. And for me personally, when I'm experiencing severe anxiety or an anxiety attack, I get short of breath and my chest gets really tight. This has probably been one of the best things for me during an attack or when I could feel an attack coming on. I take like a little pad. Don't put it directly on your body because it's a hot oil. It'll burn you. Put it on a pad and put it like a little backing on the pad, like stick it to it. I put a whole bunch of this on it. And then I take a piece of tape and I stick it not to my actual skin, but to my clothing. Like I usually put it like down here. And then I lay back and I just start inhaling and I immediately feel better. Like I just feel a big whoosh. I usually do this every night before I go to bed just to avoid an anxiety attack because, a lot of people when they lay down at night, that's when their brain starts rushing. So I just do like a preemptive strike. Sometimes I even open it and then I'll smell it just because it smells so freaking good that honestly it's just like instantly calming to me and I get like a calming head rush from it like I just did just now. And it's just, oh God, it smells so good. Be careful. Don't do this with children. I'm not like an oil, I'm not an oil expert, but I know that children can't have this. So check with your local oil expert. Most of us know someone and check the age limit on that. I'm just going to say 18 and older for now, just to play it safe. Everything I'm recommending is for adults. Children are completely different. Please don't do any of this with children. No, this is just for adults with anxiety. Okay. So I have a list of things that have been linked to anxiety. I went over most of them, but I'll just repeat them. Low iron levels, hemoglobin levels, low B vitamins, specifically B1, B6, and B12, low calcium levels, low magnesium levels, low potassium levels, and low selenium. So definitely look into all of that. Going back to things that have worked for me, I made a little list. Hot shower, definitely a hot shower. I mean, it doesn't fully help, but it just makes me feel like super clean, which is me. Like, there's been nights where I've been having such severe anxiety that I've taken 3 showers within like 2 hours just to like chill myself out. I like to sprinkle a little essential oils in the shower. I usually use plant therapy tension relief, but I've also used the eucalyptus oil in the shower because it just helps you breathe easier and just relaxes you. Diffuse oils. I diffuse oils every night now. I like cedarwood, Roman chamomile, and bergamot. So I do cedarwood, bergamot, and Roman chamomile. Lavender is also good too. I just ran out. So these are the ones I'm using right now. I'm actually almost out of like all of them because I use them every night. Shit. Oh well, I'll have to get more. I went over the eucalyptus oil. Peppermint oil is good too, but it's just not as good as eucalyptus to me. With like the breathing thing. You can do hot tea with lemon. Like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Like I suggested, the chamomile, the valerian root, passion flower. Those are supposed to be good. I've only tried the chamomile, and that, like I said, that was hit or miss for me. I try to get out of my own head. Like, I'm sure most of you do this with anxiety. I just try to tell myself, like, I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm going to be fine. You'll be okay. I try to distract myself by doing something else. I find that if I get up and like start walking around and just try to focus on something else, I get calmer, easier. And even if that means like jumping in the shower real quick, you know, I start writing, I start doing something. When I'm having an attack, I stay off my phone, I stay off electronics, just because electronics are so busy that it's just not good for your mind. You need to calm yourself when you're having an attack. I drink ice cold water. I chug water. That seems to calm me. Homeopathy. I haven't really tried that one yet. I have a remedy on hand. I don't really want to say what it is yet, just because I haven't tried it and I haven't read enough about it to recommend it, but I'm eventually going to try it. But it's only supposed to be done during an attack, and I haven't had one severe enough, knock on wood, in like a week in order to do it. Meditation is supposed to be really good. I haven't tried that one. Exercise. I am a waitress bartender, so I get a ton of exercise, and I will tell you that while I'm at work and I'm busy running around, I don't have any anxiety at all. But that's just me personally. I think it just gets your blood pumping. You also need to know your triggers, obviously. But, you know, an anxiety or panic attack can just come out of nowhere, even if you're not around one of your triggers or one of your triggers is going on. That's what's been happening to me. I know a couple of my triggers, but sometimes it just happens out of nowhere. And that's like this. I think that's the scariest type of anxiety or panic attack, is when none of your triggers are around or present or whatever, and all of a sudden it just comes on. I think that's the scariest kind. You know, a lot of people recommend marijuana for anxiety. I've got to say I tried it and it pushed me into a panic attack. So it definitely doesn't work for everybody. For some reason, marijuana just has the opposite effect on me. The oil, you know, cannabis oil is better for me, but I've just been staying just away from everything, alcohol and marijuana and cannabis oil, just until I get it under control. Since it's, you know, pretty new. I've had, like I said, I've had minor anxiety in the past, but nothing this severe. Caffeine could be a big trigger for somebody. I didn't have an attack for a week, and then I had my first cup of coffee, and within a couple hours I was having an attack, like severe attack. Lack of sleep, that's a big one. I find when I'm like super tired, I more easily triggered into feeling anxiety. Like I said, poor diet, drugs, alcohol. So that's pretty much all of my notes, except for one last thing. So I just got this in the mail. It's cannabis oil. I mean, not cannabis oil, CBD oil, THC free. I haven't tried it yet. I've always wanted to try it. My son has autism, so I always wanted to try it with him too. But this is supposed to be a really, really good one, like specifically designed for anxiety and panic attacks. I'll go a little bit closer so you guys could see it. So I haven't tried it yet, but I'll definitely update and let you know how it goes. I'm actually just going to do it tonight. I wonder how it tastes. I'm going to try it tonight. I just want to try it. I've always wanted to try CBD oil. So if anybody has anything else to add, please do so in the comment section, because like I said, I never, like, when people used to be like, oh my God, I'm having anxiety, and I'd be like, ugh. I'd be one of those people that would roll your eyes like, okay, well, everybody has anxiety. I never realized that there were different levels of anxiety before, and I never realized how severe it could be until I started having it. So anything that anybody can add, any kind of natural way. I'm not looking for Xanax or whatever. I mean, sometimes that's necessary, and I don't look down on people that do that. I just like to take the more natural approach and try to, I don't like to me, pharmaceuticals are just a cover up and turn you into a zombie. And then you get, it might help your anxiety, but you might have A, B, and C side effect, then have to take another pill, and then you get side effects from that pill and have to take another pill. With me, I'm more biomedical and holistic. I like to get to the root cause in my body and heal it instead of masking it. So if anybody has any comments, please leave them. And like I said, please know, pharmaceuticals, just do natural, like homeopathic remedies, oils, anything else except for pharmaceuticals. Like I said, if you take pharmaceuticals, that's fine. I have nothing against it. It's just not what I'm looking for here. I'm trying to get to the root cause. If anybody has any questions, I will be checking the comments, and I will try to help everybody as much as possible. If anybody has used this cannabis oil before, Sukavu, please let me know how you liked it. I mean, I already bought it and I'm going to be doing it, so regardless. And yeah, and please, share this, because I would really like to help people. There's millions and millions of people with anxiety, and I'm making this video specifically to try to target that group and to try to help them. So please subscribe to my page, and please hit the little bell so you can know when I post more videos. And please share with people that have anxiety, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, text messages, because I'm really just trying to help people. And the more people that come together and talk about stuff like this, the better understanding we have it, the better we'll understand it, the more we won't feel alone. And, maybe we could just help some people with all these remedies. So I hope you guys like my video, and I will see you next time.